lights go dim, it's time to find out what's within. Behind the camera, there's so much more. With the Andy Games, let's explore. Behind the camera with Andy Games, meet the streamers, learn their names. Off the screen, who are they? Tune in now, don't delay.
Hello everybody, welcome to Behind the Camera with Andy Games Quick Cuts. This is a side series from Behind the Camera with Andy Games where I just have smaller, more informal chats with creators. Maybe people have things going on or upcoming that they would like to promote, and I just give them a platform to share that and to get to know them just a little bit better. Today we have Logaaaaan64 returning to Behind the Camera with Andy Games. Logan, it is a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having. It has been. It's been what, like a year, 2 years?
It has been nearly a year. Nearly a year. It was. Yeah, it was. You were episode 4 on Behind the Camera.
Wow.
Which
and,
was...
I paved the way for people like Grand Coco and the smalls to come in and
Exactly. Yeah. I would like to think that is exactly what has happened. So
I appreciate you having me on. This is cool, man. I'm excited for this. It's something different, you know, like you said, it's a little bit like we're winging it a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I think with podcasting, that is just something that you have to do. Sometimes you just have to wing it. But that being said, something that you will not be winging is pretty much the reason that we are sitting down together today. So, let's get straight into the tournament. Exactly, my friend. Exactly. So, Co-op Cup 64, Mario 64 co-op tournament hosted by Logan. Tell us about this. Tell us about the conception of this. Tell us about how you got this put together and some of the competitors that you've got involved.
So it's a bit hard to exactly go into terms of it. So basically, the Co-op Cup, as it stands right now, is Mario 64 co-op, and it's a massive tournament. What happened to start it off is someone approached me and said, hey, I want to run a tournament, but I don't have an online presence and this and that. I've seen what you've done in the past. I would love for you to do it. Here's the prize money. So I was like, okay, cool. Sounds like fun. You know, we'd give it a try. I've wanted to do a tournament for a while, but then when I found out it was $1,800 American, I was like, oh, I'm definitely doing it 100%. So yeah. And then from there, I obviously looked into what are the best ways to like run a tournament. And I thought like 2 categories would be better than 1 because like it's co-op, right? So it's Mario 64 with more than 1 person. But I think the idea of having either a 2-player, you know, 2-man versus 2-man, and then a larger group would be more exciting to watch than just either one and neglecting the other. Because if we had like really big teams and no small teams, people who like do practice the 2-player category, which I think is the most popular, would feel left out, you know? And I don't want to do it either way. So we did both.
Yeah. And I think the 5 to 9 category is like a fairly interesting one because it's that in terms of the categories for Mario 64 co-op, it's like smack in the middle in terms of how many people you can have in one particular room. And in a way, I kind of think that makes it a little bit more competitive because surely in terms of the 5 to 9 categories, you have teams that make up exactly that. 5 people, some with 6, 7, 8, 9. And I think that could really make for some interesting viewing because in this sort of case, numbers aren't necessarily the advantage, are they?
Yeah, well, see, yes and no. I feel like if you got 9 players who are pretty decent, you could do 120 star in like, I don't know, 30, 20 minutes, something crazy. Because from there, I think it's 10 to 15 is the biggest category. And that world record's crazy. But I mean, 5 good players who know what they're doing versus 9 kind of okay players, I think it's about the same. But yeah, I think you're right. There is a sweet spot if it's not too, like there's no routing when it gets bigger than 2 people. People aren't like, okay, cool, here, I'm going to get these 2 people to do the 100 coins. We're going to do this. Like, I'm sure it's going to be scatter, you know, and figure it out, which I'm kind of excited to see. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's like a serious tournament and like a fun tournament as well.
Yeah, of course. And then obviously the tournament is kicking off this weekend on Saturday, 3rd of May.
Yeah, 6 p.m. EST, which I'm not sure what time it is, UK or Australian. It's Sunday 8 a.m. But yeah, I'm just saying 6 p.m. EST because it seems to be the most unanimous time frame. But we're running it over 3 weekends. So we have the first one, which is the 2-player, the elimination round. So we're going from 34 players down to the top 8 by the end of that. And then the second weekend is all of the 5 to 9 player teams racing to go through the grand finals, like as in they will play until there is one winner and they will get paid. And then the third week will be the, semis and the grand finals, which will be really exciting. So it's like 3 weekends. I'm like, this is cool. This is like an event. And also, like, I don't have as many free days in a row, so this seemed the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, but I think doing it on 3 consecutive weekends, I think it kind of adds to the grandeur of it because people then know what to look forward to of the weekend. They know, and obviously it's been that well organized that you know that these people are going to be free at this point because especially in the 2-player category, you have a lot of teams, a lot of competitors in that. So with that, have you set out a bracket for them or is it seeding? What way have you kind of done that?
So the way we're doing it on this Saturday at 6 p.m. EST. So the way it's working is basically we're going to have all 34 of them all run at the same time.
Oh.
We're going to have, it's going to be like, kind of like, what am I thinking of? Like a battle royale, essentially. And they get one run, no resets, no nothing. Only the top, I think it's top 5 teams, top 8 teams get put through. So top 16 players, everybody else gets eliminated. I'm going to do it that way. And then the second round, we're going to do the same way again to bring it down to the people who can do the fastest times. Because I understand if you grind something out, you can get really good at it. But I want it to be a race. So I'm going to try and format it in a way where we're going to have a few basic things like kind of like a sports event. Like I want this to be the Super Bowl of Mario 64. I want this to be so cool. I've got a little calculator I've made of like stars per minute for like, so I can be like, oh, they're on 6 SPM at the moment. They're doing pretty good. Like it's going to be nice, man. I've tried to do a little bit of a deep dive into like the people who are playing in it as well to get like some fun facts about, this guy's been playing for 4 years and stuff. So yeah, I wanted to, in a perfect world, have it fully graphics and player cards that slide it out of the stuff, but it's week 1, man. We don't know what could happen. Someone might see it and go, I want to help you with this. So I'm hoping, please, if you're watching this and you're good at this stuff, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, with that, then who is your team to look out for in both the duos category and the 5 to 9s?
Oh, I like that question. Okay. So there's been a bit of not a controversy, but there's one team who have let me know today that they can't make the first round. But they also say that they potentially can get world record on the day. So they want to know if there's any other way they can do it, if maybe they do a no reset somewhere else. I'm going to bring it up with the other competitors, of course, because in my opinion, I believe that if people have coordinated to be here at this time, and it's been the same time for a while. So if you can't make it, it's a little bit too bad, so sad. But if no one has a problem with it, then I don't see an issue. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be, these are the rules. And apart from me just saying these are the rules, there's no other reason. But of course, I'm going to say the Beats brothers, Newman Beatbox and Tyson, who have been on This Week in Speedrunning as well. But from what I know, I haven't seen a single practice session or nothing. They've been doing it pretty hard. And they had the world record previously, which is on the old leaderboard, which isn't present at the moment. But if you click on it, that world record is like 7 minutes faster than the current world record. So they've gotten a lot better since then. I think Newman's on like a 148, 120 himself.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I believe Tyson got into like the low 150s, maybe even 140 something. But they've become way better players as they've gone on. So I want to see what they're going to do, if I'm being honest. I think it'll be kind of interesting. There's a couple of other ones. There's a person by the name of, I'm just going to bring this up. Give me one moment.
Of course.
By the name of Bizarrescape, who's like a big co-op Mario 64 YouTuber. So like that's like his job, I'm pretty sure. He's on a team with somebody and he's played the game for years. So I'm excited to see what he can do, especially as a content creator doing a speed run. Like, it's always interesting to see how good they actually are, like me as well. But Yeah, those are the two for the 2-play categories. In terms of the 5 to 9, I was excited for your team. Sadly, unfortunately, you've had to pull out, I know.
Yep.
But there is a team with a bunch of people, Super Plays Games, Mr. Needle Mouse, Zeta64. I've looked at their co-op records individually, and if they're coordinated very well, it could be very close. We've got only one team with 9 full players. So it'll be exciting to see if they're the ones who pull through, or if, Luigi Dini and Sir T and Freeman and Austin and Beats, who's also on the 5 to 9 team, if they smash it out, we don't know. I think knowing what to do will make a big difference here. But yeah, I wouldn't pick Beats for the 5 to 9 only because he's not playing with his brother, man. That's not how it works. You can't win without your brother if you're both speedrunners. It's actually illegal. And I'll report him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely going to be a very interesting tournament, especially with the format of like the elimination format, like the F099 kind of style. I think brilliant.
Sorry, I apologize. I just cut you off like 4 times.
No, you're good, dude. You're good.
But I was going to say, I did want to have it originally like brackets, like we're going to have these 2 people race and these 2 people race and move on. But fortunately, when it first started, I reached out into the Co-op Cup Discord. I reached out to the administrators and they let me advertise in there. And in the Mario 64 one, we got a lot of entries very quickly. And I was like, oh, wow, this tournament will run for like 20 hours just to get through to the semis. So I was like, you know what? Fast paced. Like it'll be easy to see what's going on. I'll have to, obviously that'll be a big job of myself and Lucky Owl, who's going to be the commentator for the first day on Saturday. So that'll be exciting as well. A little bit of a Mario veteran there.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll have our work cut out for us for sure, trying to find out who's ahead when you're looking at 34 screens.
Yeah.
But I'm confident.
I think you certainly will have your work cut out for you, especially when it comes to watching and commentating. But I think you're in good hands with Lucky Owl with that, because she, as you say, seasoned veteran, and also in terms of commentary, events, all these types of things, it's her bread and butter as well. So if you ever
100%. I know she's done commentary for stuff with Simply and with Cheese as well, like super big names as opposed to you and me. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm sure she'll be able to do well. I do have to explain some of the ins and outs of co-op compared to normal Mario 64, because it's a bit daunting for someone who doesn't know what. You touch the star, why do you exit the level? Is that possible? Things like that. But just the little things around time save that make it more of a non-stop speed run, really. It's kind of like non-stop the category, but without non-stop, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And on the names involved that you just mentioned, and also some of the names in the tournament, let's go back to the last tournament that you ran, the Amateur 16 Star tournament. That was geared towards people with times 20 minutes and above. So obviously this is
25 minutes.
20 to 25 minutes. Yeah. So this is like a little bit of a different format, of course, not just from being co-op, but in terms of the experience that you have no, I don't say this with any disrespect, but you have a lot more known names in this tournament, and there's a lot more at stake. So how do you feel in comparison to having done the old tournament to this tournament now?
Oh, 1,000,000%. I even made it a point when I first started this and created the things to have a set of rules, because when I first started, I thought all these people who I'm inviting for the 16 Star Invitational were like beginners. But they're also streamers. So I figured we'd be able to get a pretty good stream set up, but it turned out to be incredibly difficult because a lot of them were live at the same time. I've basically set this time in the rules like, hey, this is when the race starts. You need to be able to share your Discord and your mic in here and your camera if you want. Pardon me. By this time, or don't you can't attend. Just to make it simple, because like it's the biggest thing you need is a video feed of it. But yeah, in terms of like communication, we've set up like a forum for people to ask FAQs and stuff that like creates a ticket for us. It's gone leaps and bounds over just like, here's Discord, man. Here's the time. Figure it out. It's been really, really cool. And I've got a lot of help from someone you may or may not know, Tiffany.
Yes.
She's helped me out with creating the co-op Discord and setting it up in terms of how to do that ticketing system and stuff. And it's been invaluable for chasing up people because they want to know, hey, I'm swapping out. Can I put a partner in? And as opposed to getting 40 messages from random people who I can't message back if I'm not their friend and stuff like that, it's been a lot easier to say, cool, I want to get verified in this category. Here's my ticket. Bam. But yeah, I'm hoping in terms of the actual, not professionalism, just how courteous I think people are, considering there's a lot of people here I think people will be a lot more wary as opposed to I'm running late for my race. Oh, I'm running late against the race against everybody.
Yep.
Might make people a bit more conscientious. We've also set up practice rooms this time as well. So for people before the race, they can come in and join a lobby and practice before they start and get warmed up. Which I think is also pretty good, especially if you're not streaming, even if you are, to be like, cool, way to jump in here and practice, like before we're called on. So yeah, there's been a lot more preparation this time. I'm really super duper stoked for this, to see how it turns out, man. Like, yeah, I think every week too, I promise you, it's going to get just a little bit better. Because I'm always going to watch them back and say, what can I do different? But the first one was really successful too. Like I had no issues with the reception. I was blown away, man. It was incredible.
Yeah,
So
like
I'll be happy either way, man.
of course, and you can't take anything away from the first tournament you did as well. Like I know we've just compared the setup and the preparations of each, but like you can tell it's come on leaps and bounds for this one. Like there is a lot more professionalism. It's like a professional tournament, and that's exactly kind of, I'm sure, what you were going for whenever you decided to do this, and that is incredible. And like I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure everybody who is watching, listening, is 100% as well going to enjoy this. And I think as well, with the format, there could definitely be some upsets right off the bat as well, which I think adds to the drama, the anticipation, everything of it. And it really is just it's gonna be something else, man. It's gonna be something else. So my next question is, what's next?
So that's a good question. And there is something I do want to just mention. I'm not sure if you're gonna clip this, whatever it may be later, but there's a bit of hidden gossip about the Co-op Cup 64. So
Ooh.
I didn't say this publicly to a lot of people, but at one point we were game to have Green Suiji and Callie join the tournament, which would have been amazing, dude. Oh my God. It was just unfortunately like scheduling too short notice, and stuff like that. They weren't able to, fully commit and go through. But I think it would have been so interesting. And if anyone else sees this, like any other pro player who's like top 10, top 20, I want to see you guys race some of the co-op guys. I don't think it's the same, honestly. Like I think two really amazing 120 players versus two very amazing co-op 120 players is very different. But yeah, that was super exciting. I mean, in terms of what's next, I do want to run another tournament. Like I found out the first time I did this that like I really love commentating, man.
Yeah,
I love the idea of like, because obviously I speed run and I speed run as much as I can, but I love the idea of like making it a spectacle a little bit. Like sometimes even just talking about how someone else's run is going or how familiar you are with it. Man, commentating on Sir T's tournament was awesome. Like that made me miss it a lot. And I was like, oh, and this came up and I was like, oh, perfect. That's good. But yeah, there's been a lot more brand new Mario streamers that came up. So I would like to do another 16-star tournament.
Yeah.
With some people who I believe would be around the same skill level, maybe a bit shorter scale. But that's on the cards. But yeah, there's a few other things. But I don't have anything cemented as of yet. In terms of like big event organizing at this point that I can think of. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. And I think, as you say, there are a lot more new Mario 64 speedrunners who are putting the time into it. Now you have like the likes of Dan Sutton, you have the likes of Ali, for example. They are really kind of coming up. They're really kind of making themselves known within this little speedrunning community. And I definitely think that would be another good thing. And like, it sounds to me as though now that you've done it once and twice, and this one on a much bigger scale, you've gotten the bug for it. And of course,
yeah, I love this. Honestly, every time I hear that someone's going to race, like when I'm watching a stream, I'm like, can I commentate? Can I commentate it? Can I stream it, man? And people are always down, don't be wrong, but it's like, it's just because it's so fun to me, man. Like I'm sure it's the same for you, like doing podcasting. Like you just, as soon as you start, you're just like, I really love this, man. Like there's something about it that just fills a little hole in my heart. And it's like, this is beautiful. Like I can PB all day, but like it's nice because I'm getting to share my favorite thing through other people playing it. Not just, hey guys, watch me do something I like. It's, hey, I can share more knowledge about what I know about something someone else is doing. Yeah. And I think that's kind of cool, man. That's like the big sell for me.
Oh, for sure. And like, I think it gives the viewers who may not be as familiar as some others that kind of fresh perspective and perhaps even get them into it, or even just a better understanding and be like, okay, I enjoy watching this a little bit more. I've seen a bit, but now I kind of like it a little bit more. And I kind of think it certainly does help with the growth of everything. And ultimately, and most importantly, it's just a bit of fun. Like, it's a little bit of fun bringing a load of people together and just, making something of it. And obviously, in line with any potential streaming goals, like it puts your name out there in ways that, like, maybe 12 months to 18 months ago, you might not have thought you would have got to.
Yeah, I didn't know with the first tournament that I've applied for this one on speedrun.com to be on the front page. So when the race is happening, touch wood, if you go to speedrun.com, the tournament should come up. And to put in a news article as well, talking about it. Like, that's all stuff that you can now do for free if you know what you're doing. And it's like, this is amazing. I emailed them. I was like, what can I do? Like, how can I promote this somehow? And they were super nice. They came back to me with a bunch of resources. Here's what you can do. Here are the links. And I was like, dude, that's amazing.
Incredible.
So it's been good to see like reception from them as well.
Yeah.
In terms of trying to make it bigger, especially considering I'm not a big company. I'm not, a Bethesda or something coming in with here's 10 grand to, beat this or whatever it is. It's just like, hey, I want to run a tournament. What can you do? But that was super helpful, man. I was very, very appreciative of that. Not going to lie.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's that's the sort of like wholesome kind of publicity that you want from something like that. That also does have backing and endorsement from these types of companies, like you said, like Bethesda, for example. They kind of shows that they open their doors to anybody who is willing to put in some time and investment into something that they are trying to promote themselves. And honestly, you cannot go any better than that.
Yeah, no, 1,000,000%. But yeah, I'm super excited, guys. If you want to check it out, Saturday, 3rd of May, Saturday, 3rd of May, 6 p.m. EST. If you're in Australia, it's on Sunday morning. If you're in the UK, it is evening, I believe, that same Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be about 11 o'clock UK time, PM.
Yeah, a late night special.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel bad for the European people we have in the tournament. But depending on who makes it through to the grand finals and stuff, that will, of course, change the grand final time. But we have at least the next 2 weekends are set for the same time. The 6 p.m. EST for both this Saturday and next Saturday as well. So it's cool to know they're locked in and it's easy and people can plan around it. But yeah, I'm hoping we get to see a bunch of people there, man. And even if we don't, I get to commentate just people racing, man. And that's all I could really want.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to round this off then, Logan, everybody watching will probably already know, but for those who don't, where can we find you and all things about you as a streamer?
What a beautiful,
creator?
handsome question. So, Logaaaaan64 with 5 A's. You can find me on Twitch, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. That's it. I'm pretty sure. Find my link tree. There'll be Snapchat as well. But yeah, all those places. It's Logaaaaan64 with 5 A's. You can just call me Logan. That's fine. There are 5 A's because there is 5 categories in Mario 64, which is the main game I speedrun. Kind of crazy, the game. Got 3 PBs in the last 2 weeks. No big deal. All different categories. No big deal. But yeah, come check me out if you want to see any more.
Yep, absolutely. And if you want to see even more, check out Logan's episode of Behind the Camera with Andy Games. That is episode 4 from August 2024. And Logan, as well, it has been incredible having you on. Thank you so much. Also, just one last thing as well. Sponsorships. You are offering out sponsorships for people to help with the tournament?
We have, yes. So I would like to thank Behind the Camera.
That wasn't me looking for that, by the way, but I'll take that.
Yeah, for being the main sponsor on this. In terms of the actual tournament, we've had a few others who have decided to remain private, which is a-okay with me. They just wanted to fund the tournament, which is really, really cool. So I'm not sure if that's like a donation instead, but we've had a few others. But yeah, in terms of like main actual named sponsors, it is the platform you're watching on right now. So we're going to see a bunch of little ad reads like, I can't believe the quick cuts that happened the other day. That's crazy. Check it out on Behind the Camera. But yeah, we were going to try and get for a few others, a few indie game developments. Unfortunately, weren't able to secure it, but that's okay. There's always opportunities for the future.
Of
and maybe after the first week, I think people might come through later on after they see the reception. But yeah, I've reached out to anyone. So if you have a small project, if you have a business, if you have anything that you think would like benefit from being, broadcast online to, on average, in total, like 2,000, 3,000 live viewers in terms of across both TikTok and Twitch, reach out. Love to have you. I would love to have you. We can do all the stuff for you. But yeah, it'll be cool, man. I'm excited.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. And I will just say that is where I was hoping you would go with that instead of throwing me under the bus and be like, yeah, you're the sponsor. Yeah, you're looking for that was joking.
No, of course.
No, I'm only joking.
But I had to mention, of course. Are you kidding me?
No,
I'm
I
keeping
know.
the lights on right now.
But yes, Logan, thank you so much for your time. It has been amazing talking about the tournament. Thank you for everybody who has been watching live exclusively on TikTok. For anybody who missed this, you'll be able to find this exclusively on YouTube after the fact. I will share the links out, and I will also put Logan's links into the description of the video. For anybody who has been watching, follows on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everything is very, very much appreciated. And yes, this has been Behind the Camera with Andy Games Quick Cuts, our little side series outside of Behind the Camera. My guest today has been Logaaaaan64. Thank you once again, Logan.
Thank you for having me, man.
Of course.
Peace out.